you can make the argument that SiriusXM should not have suspended the host because they put him on Barstool, and that is uncensored radio and anything goes. So you can make an argument that it was a knee-jerk reaction out of our part. Well, boy, they fired him at KMBR. We got to do something to show that this is unacceptable behavior or an unacceptable comment. So they go out there and they suspend him. So, you can make an argument we're trying to please too many people. Whether if you're uncensored, you're uncensored. Don't listen to it. So you can make an argument he shouldn't have been suspended. If you wanted to go in that direction, I would make the argument that that's in poor taste and the host should know better, and they give him too much responsibility. He doesn't know any better, and he doesn't know when to edit himself, and he gets himself in trouble. So I would argue that. But if you wanted to also argue, listen, this is what Sirius signs up for. You give him 2-day suspension. I mean, that is really just to make sure that you cover your own fanny. Well, we punished him. We're not in support of that. But it's also from a standpoint, it's, you can make an argument that's being politically correct on our part. Now, the EEI thing, I guess 4 big sponsors have bailed out on EEI, and the Red Sox have expressed some, not confusion. They have expressed some concern on EEI in the last year. Now, remember, EEI, their host went to bat for the Red Sox, for the fan base, with the whole thing with Adam Jones. When Adam Jones claimed that he was called a terrible word walking off the field. And I know the EI hosts said that no word was uttered, and they had all sorts of guys on to say that was not the case. But, the Red Sox did, the mea culpa. We apologize, and they gave Adam Jones a standing ovation the next day, and who knows where that came down. But I do know the hosts have told me, because I've been on, many a time, and they said that Adam Jones may be the greatest guy in the world, but what he claims was said was not said. Now, maybe the Red Sox are referring to that, which they didn't like. Who knows? Now, I did not like what Henry did because he wanted to rename Yorkie Way. That, to me, is, he's owned a team for 20 years. Now he's got a problem with Yorkie Way. 20 years he owned the team. 20 years. He owns the team a long time. If you got such a big problem with Yorkie Way, why don't you change it as soon as you walked in the door? Well, because now the world with Yorkie, who I guess I'll read this book, I'll get a little better feel on him. Longtime Red Sox patriarch. Last team to integrate. Certainly not good with African American relations with his team, and the Red Sox, want to make a political statement now and eliminate the name of Yorkie Way. Well, I'm not into that. That's eliminating monuments because Woodrow Wilson was a bigot in 1900. So that's changed the name of the Princeton buildings because he was the president of Princeton before that. I'm not into that. I'm not into the monument cleansing. And I'm especially not into it when you've owned a team for 20 years and you did nothing about it. Now all of a sudden you're jumping on board. That I don't like. If you really had a problem with it, you should have done it right away when it wasn't the thing to do. And the Red Sox didn't do that. So the Red Sox might be annoyed at the EEI host regarding that. But EEI, listen, they got hit in the pocketbook. They lost some revenue. And so EEI says, all right, let's see if we can show them that we do care about political training. And we'll go out there and we'll make everybody show up at a sensitivity lesson for a day. And by the same token, the same hosts who go to the sensitivity training, if all of a sudden they get sensitive and they do a streamlined show and nobody listens and the ratings are bad, they'd be fired on their fanny so fast you wouldn't know it hit you. So there you go. Look at it that way. And a lot of those hosts of those kind of stations, folks, do not have guaranteed contracts. They might have a 13-week something, but they don't have a lot of them don't have guaranteed. The morning guys do probably, but a lot of them don't have the guaranteed contracts. So when a host so in other words, we will go along that the Red Sox want. We're getting hurt revenue wise, so let's do something, and we'll do a day of sensitivity training. And then if we look at the next rating book and we have a bunch of vanilla hosts on there who can't get a rating, we'll fire them all. Can't have it both ways. That's my point. Hard to have it both ways. Hard to do uncensored radio and then somebody says something stupid and you're flabbergasted and then you suspend them. It's hard to do that. Well, what's the idea? Why'd you bring Barstool in then? Why'd you bring him in? You knew this was coming. So I figured I'd throw this at you here today to get it going. Now, we had Dino for a long time, and Dino said a lot of crazy things, and we let it go for a long time. And in Sirius's defense, they always said, whatever you want to do, Chris, you do it. Because a lot of it was at me, which I swear to God, I could care less. And everybody knows we wouldn't have brought Dino in. I could care less. I really care.
Whole show was based on you.
Yeah, the whole thing, let's pick on Chris. I could care less. But everybody said, hey, listen, hey, Chris, if you can deal with it, what's the deal? So, you make a deal with the devil and you got to deal with it. I knew Dino going in was going to, and so there's Dino. So Dino did things that did eventually step over the line. You gave him 3,000 chances. There comes a point where you got to cut your losses. There comes a point. 9/11 didn't happen. Calls Obama a thing. I mean, there comes a point where this is a sports channel that you got to say enough. But you try to be engaging and entertaining, and there is a fine line between being engaging and being entertaining and being offensive. In a lot of cases, there is a fine line to do that. And let your hosts making $80,000 a year, fresh off Connecticut School of Broadcasting, that is you're asking an awful lot. Jeez. Be provocative, be entertaining, get ratings, get revenue, do a good job. Oh, and by the way, don't offend anybody. Hold on now. And here's $80,000 to boot. And we'll give you a 13-week contract. $60,000. And here's live in an apartment with 9 other people. Show up to work at 8 o'clock at night. Get to the station on your own. A big city, but I don't care how much you pay for rent. Get to the station on your own way. If you got to live 30 miles away, figure out a way to get here. And if you offend anybody, we're going to get rid of you. That is why do you think Patrick Connor ran to Barstool? I'm sure KMBR wasn't paying him a ton. Very, very tricky. And in the meantime, the appetite for sports continues to grow. People can't get enough of it. We'll use sports, and we'll use the radio platform and everything else. We'll use it as the foundation, but we'll branch off, and we'll do this, we'll do that. I don't want to talk about the Seattle Mariners starting rotation. Let's talk about, a 17-year-old. We'll do politics. Very tricky. But here's a lesson. Boy, thank God I was born when I was. I don't think I could do it today. A, I don't think I could do what the companies wanted, and B, I don't think I could be out there and make a difference. I don't think I would rise over the clutter. I think it'd be very difficult. You're a 23-year-old kid coming out of college, and you want to be a radio broadcaster, a talk show host. You get a job. You'll get it. You'll find something. But boy, oh boy, God bless you. You better have a patient ownership who is going to give you a chance. A lengthy 2-year contract to get yourself started, and away you go. It is very, very difficult. And I got to be fair. EEI, that to me is being too politically correct. We're going to do sensitivity training now for the whole company. I don't know enough about all the issues. I know the comment with the Brady kid, shouldn't have said it. Christian Fourier, the tight end, he's a football player, not a broadcaster. Let's keep that in mind. He's a football player. He is not a trained broadcaster. He's a tight end. He shouldn't have said about Don Yee what he said. Hey, I've killed Don Yee 1,000 times. He did a terrible job with Brady with the Deflategate. An atrocious job. He should have gotten ahead of that story. He never did. He was caught by surprise, and I blame Yee for that. And everybody tells me he's a great guy, but I killed him for that. He was incompetent. That's my take. But you can say that without getting into something personal that's going to get you in major trouble. And the host today wants to be funny, wants to be engaging, wants to have a little traction, and they get carried away. All for $60,000. Chris LaPresta here has got a sports bite. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed.